Hello, beautiful people. We are using a new iPhone today, so you get to see my messy craft room. Um, so normally, well, we have a sewing section over there, and then up here at the front of the room is a sewing section where you see a cutter, and then there's a desk right in front of this one, and that's like an ironing area, but you can't see it. And then this is my card making desk, which is a nice, healthy mess, showing that I created some cards. And then this is my planner desk, which is I'm working with the planner right now, so that's why we're right here. So I was just testing this new iPhone camera because it kept flipping, but now it seems to be working just fine. So we're going to go ahead and set this in place. So make sure we're straight. Okay, I think we're good. So guess what? None of you called me on it, but I had my weeks wrong in my planner, you guys. So I had 5 weeks in October, and that's not accurate. It's actually 4 weeks in October. And I had 4 weeks in September, and it should have been 5. So yesterday when I was creating this, you may recall if you saw the video that I just posted this morning, you can see September was in the first week of October, and then it didn't turn October until Sunday. Anyway, I thought that was really weird. You know, when I was doing it, I was like, that's so weird. Why would this week be in October if it doesn't start until the last day of the week? So I went ahead and I opened up my handy dandy Happy Planner to October, and sure enough, October starts on the 2nd, as you can see here. So I had it wrong. So there's only 4 weeks in October. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I had to make some adjustments, but I'm really glad that I figured that out. So I'm assuming what happened is when I created my entire planner for the for the year of 2023, I just got my months mixed up, and I put one less week in September and one more week into October. And so when I got towards the end of the year, as we are now in the last quarter, I realized that mistake. So I'm going to scrap all of this right here because this is not accurate, and I don't want a Halloween theme in September. Okay, so we're going to recreate this page. I'm also going to recreate the stamping in the margins, so I thought I would go ahead and bring you along for that since I have to redo it anyway, and I didn't record it before. So, and then I have to do some tweaks. I went ahead and I reprinted what I needed to print. So here's going to be the first week of October because I did want that to be in orange. So, and I had already stamped September on them. This is actually going to say October like it's supposed to. So I'm going to go ahead and redo that. So I thought I would bring you along. So I'm going to go ahead and use Nectarine. Is what I used for the margin stamping and for the month stamp. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I have my clear block here, and I have this Close to My Heart stamp set. It's called Colorful Texture, and I'm using this stamp right here to stamp within my margins. So we're just going to do that together. And then here I have a scrap sheet of paper because I'm going to need it, as you will see. So we're just doing a little correcting today. I don't know if I'm going to do any more decoration. We will see, I guess, as we go along. But I did want you to see, you know, how really convenient it is when you have a planner printable to correct mistakes. But of course, I suppose if you had a pre-printed planner, like the Happy Planner, you wouldn't have to go through what I just went through because it would just be right. Right? Okay. All right, so I'm seeing, I think I need to lift the camera a little bit. So if you get dizzy easily, you might want to look away. I just need to back up just a little bit just so that, there we go. I think that might be better. Ooh, Sorry for the, let's see how we're going to do this. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, just needed a little more camera area so that we weren't too zoomed in, and I think that looks good. Okay, so let's see. I just need to kind of focus, see what I'm doing. So I have my ink, I have my extra pages. The extra pages I'm going to put off to the side for a second. Just get a little more organized. I'm going to end up doing these two sheets with the orange down the center. I can move these ink pads for now and just give myself a little bit more room. And then I have my, here it is, my damp cloth here to wipe my stamp. Okay. So here we go, correcting some mistakes. No big deal. It just means more crafting, right? Okay, so I'm going to go this way. Now I'm using the scrap paper because I'm stamping off my paper right here in the center, and so that just kind of helps me. When I first started doing this decorating, I was just went ahead and just used my glass mat and kept wiping it. But I found, since I was stamping so much in the margins for the entire month of October, I found it's much easier to go ahead and waste a little bit of paper and use a scrap sheet because it's quicker. Otherwise the glass mat gets kind of wet and you have to wait for it to dry, or you have to wipe it dry, and it was just taking too long. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that. Perfect. So this is how I get my colored margin, and I had only done it once, which I think I explained in my what are we going to do for October video, which is the video before just the last one that I posted. And then I went ahead and started the decorating yesterday, which I posted this morning, and did the entire month like this, and boy, do I love it. I really, really like it. I think it's going to be really fun, especially once I punch the holes for the discs and kind of, you know, get into planning. So my mistake with the dates, I'm kind of sad because I thought that like the Halloween theme and stuff, I thought was starting next week, but no, I have one more week of September before I get to play in this part. Isn't that funny? Like, we decorate, we just can't wait to start planning in that newly decorated month or week or whatever. We just get kind of excited and impatient. At least I do. Like, but as I mentioned, Halloween is like my favorite, so it makes sense that I just can't wait. I just can't wait. So, how many of you have already started your October decorating, either in your planner or in your home? I'm very curious. I haven't brought out the Halloween decorations, although I really, really, really want to. Okay, so I need to pay attention. So hold on just a second. Let me just check something here. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this right, but I just need to double check. So this is going to be my deco box, and then Monday, okay? And then Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and okay, perfect. Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't stamping too many pages, but I am not. We're doing good. I went and had my nails done and had them trimmed significantly because they were in the way of my stamping, you guys. And I was like, oh, I can't stand it. So when I went to go see my nail guy this morning, I'm like, as short as possible. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yes, make them as short as possible. And he's like, okay. And then he said, what shape? I said, whatever. Just cut them because they're getting in my way of crafting. And I said, you pick the color and you pick the shape, just as long as they are being like seriously cut down, I'll be happy. So that's what he did. So this dark color is not normally my jam, but I'm not mad at it either, because it kind of fits in the Halloween theme, even though I'm a little bit more than a week early. But I'm not mad. I told him to go ahead and pick it, and I meant that. So, okay. So that's the first week, right? And then we go into, and this part I had already stamped. So I just need to stamp this facing page because I had to replace that one page. Okay, so let's hope that I picked the right ink color. So that was Nectarine, and I believe this next one, I believe it's either Ballerina or Peach. And it might be Ballerina. I'm pretty sure it's Ballerina. So let's test Ballerina first. And what I will do is, it's not the same paper, this scratch paper and my planner paper, it's not the same, but I think it'll still give me a good idea. So we're going to go ahead and clean off this stamp. And oranges, reds, and inks like that just love to stain a stamp. So don't worry, there's no ink on there. I'm cleaning it with a damp chamois, so not a big deal. And yep, that is the right color. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this to match that second week of October. Just correcting a little mistake, a little oversight that I made in the beginning of the year, but nice and easy to correct. It's just like not even a big deal. And I want to stamp these ends nicely. Good enough. Okay. And I believe that's all I need for this particular week. Let's see. Okay. Oh, no, I have to also do this and then do this color, and then I think we're good. Okay. So just a little bit more. So now that I know I can stamp my edges like this, or my margins, you know I'm going to keep this stamp set forever. It's going to be like a staple in my planner. I just love the way that looks. Another thing that I thought is, I know with especially Catherine Puller inks, I'm not sure with Close to My Heart inks, which is what I'm using right now. I'm using Close to My Heart. You could just go directly to the paper with the ink. And so you don't necessarily like have to have a stamp for this. And maybe I'll demonstrate it for you. I've never really done it, but I know it can be done. And so I think I'll demonstrate it for you in just a second, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the page that's facing this one. And so we're going to stamp this with Honey Butter from Close to My Heart. We already cleaned that off, so we are good. Oh, such a pretty color. Perfect. Okay. So I believe that is it, but let's double check. Look at how pretty these colors look together. Isn't that amazing? Okay. So now we only got to use 4 colors, I think, out of the 6. Because there's only 4 weeks, but not a big deal because I'll use the others within my spreads anyways. So, okay, so that flows. Okay, and then it goes into Flamingo. And I believe that flows all the way to the end. Perfect. Okay, so our margins are now corrected. This is the second half of my monthly spread, and then it starts the first week of October. So I had to reprint that. Okay, so we're done with this, but before I continue on, I just want to show you what I meant by not necessarily having to have a stamp to do the technique that I'm doing. I like having the stamp, but let me grab the Catherine Puller ink because I think it'll be easier. I'll grab, let's see. I'll grab this mandarin spice just for now. And then I'm going to grab a page that I messed up. We'll just say the other side of this right here. And I'm going to do this margin right here. So what I would do, and in this case, so since I'm taking the ink pad directly to the paper and I'm going to swipe down for that margin, I probably wouldn't use a paper underneath because the paper's porous, right? And so it's going to grab ink, this paper. And I don't think I would want to do that because I feel like it would be a waste of ink because this paper is going to suck this ink, right? So I think if I didn't use this and I used my glass mat, since this glass mat is not porous, the ink is just going to glide down, but it's not going to like soak it up type of thing, okay? So, but I'm going to, just because I don't want to clean it up after, I'm going to go ahead and use this. Now, when I was thinking about this last night and thinking, okay, I could go direct to paper too if I didn't have the right stamp. You could, but I was also thinking, but how do I get it just in the margin? But let's go ahead and try it. So I would just kind of go like this. Okay, I guess I would need more right there. Okay, and so I would just kind of do it like that. And I guess it would just take practice, but you can see it looks great. It would work really, really great. So let me try, I'm going to do it one more time on this side because I think with practice, it would really work out really nice. And then you also need to make sure that you have a re-inker because this is using a lot of ink. But with re-inkers, you can just load this pad back up you know, a lot of times with a re-inker. So don't hesitate to take your ink directly to your paper because I think it can be really cool. And there's a really nice margin. Isn't that nice? And you can see there's a little bit of ghosting, but not really. That's what I love about this paper. So if you don't have a nice little splatter stamp, all the way I do encourage this stamp that I used. You could just go this route. God, that looks so good. Isn't that great? But I would use a small ink pad like this. But I don't know. Let's see how the Close to My Heart ink would work for that. So this is a little more space from the edge to the pad where I don't know. This is just kind of a little different. Maybe it's just higher and that way I could kind of get there. But let's see how it would work with this. I'm just kind of curious. Let's turn this over. And so it is kind of harder to swipe because I can't see it that well. See, I put this block over and it's just like, I can't really see my ink pad as well as I could see this because it's higher. And this was kind of, I can see it from the side. I can see that. Where if you look at this one, I'm seeing that, which I really can't see the pad. So that would be a little more difficult, but we're going to try it anyway. I just got to remember it's about 1/2 inch in. Okay, so let's just say, oh, okay, not a good idea. I wouldn't do this, see, because I'm completely off. And just the saturation of Catherine Puller inks is just really, really awesome. Now, these are equally as awesome when you're stamping, but I think ink to paper, this is more saturated. You know, this is a very spongy pad. This is a felt-like, a more rigid felt-like pad. So I like the way this works when you want to color your paper the same color as the ink. And this also works really well in card making because if I were layering another card panel onto here and I wanted the bottom layer to have the edges of whatever I'm stamping in, this is a great way to have your paper match your ink. So I love that about Catherine Puller inks. I had never really done that, but I've known that that was one of the features. So very, very cool. So I'm glad we did that and figured that out. That was fun. All right, so I can go ahead and put this stamp away. So we will do that so we can keep this somewhat tidy. I think it's over here. All right, I'm gonna put this this down like this. Put this down like this. And this will go right back into the envelope. Just like that, okay? And then, so the next thing we have to do, so the rest of this is pretty much trash. Oh, except for this sticker right here. I'm going to save that. But the rest I'm going to throw away because I just don't want to get confused. Okay, this is our actual planner now. So we're back in business. All right, so what I want to do here is I want to stamp October. And I can go ahead and stamp October for the rest of the month now. But I also want to remove this. I don't want to waste this paper or this sticker by throwing this out. I actually want to remove this, and I want to place it right here in my new first week of October. And so what I'm going to want to do is recreate this marigold kind of colored splatter. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that again. I think you've already seen it on video, but I'm going to go ahead and do it again. And then I am going to remove this with this undo adhesive remover, and you're going to see it's very, very easy. So I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to place it here, and then we're going to be back to where I was as of yesterday before I realized the mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp October 1st. So let me go ahead and do that. I had used honey butter, and I had used this stamp, I believe. Let me just make sure. No, it was actually this one. Is this one because it's a little bit wider. So we're going to use this. It's from Background Elements, from Close to My Heart also. And it's a very neat and tidy way of doing an ink splatter. I mentioned it on my other video from this morning that this is much neater than actual doing an actual ink splatter. I'm going to use a smaller block, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I'll use this smaller block. It's not going to fit completely, but I think it'll do the job. Okay. So, and then what I had done is I had used Post-it notes just to block off, to mask off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again. So I said I was going to do the month, huh? I meant I'm going to do the splatter. Okay, so let's make sure this is straight. All right. And these are very inexpensive Post-it notes that I got. Did I get them on Amazon or did I get them at Staples? I can't remember. But they were inexpensive. You know, they're nothing thick or fancy, but I liked it that they were white. Okay, actually, I think that's good. And then I'll reuse these along this next side. Okay. So as of yesterday, I remembered I needed to do just the top, a little bit of the sides, but mostly the top and the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that. And I like to turn this around a little bit so that we don't have like a repeated pattern, you know, where you can kind of tell it's been stamped and repeated. And then just a little bit here. We'll say a little bit right here. A little bit here. I know I'm kind of off here. Let me recenter a little bit right here. Okay, so then we're going to move these. You can see it can happen pretty quick once you know what you're doing. Since this is the second time I'm doing it, I have a little bit of experience because I have to redo this. No problem, right? Oh, that's already done. Okay. No problem. Don't want to sweat it too much. I knew it was fixable. You know, I have printables and it just all works out. Okay, so let's do this right here. Easy, easy ink splatter, and it just looks so good. I just love it. Okay, done with that. We'll bring Nectarine back because we're going to stamp the month. And I'm going to keep these in case I need to use them again. Ooh, we are back in business. We're getting there. Okay, cleaning the stamp. I'm going to put it back. All right. Now, one thing I think I'll do, just because I think it could help some people, I'm going to do this a little bit different than I had done it yesterday, is I'm going to use a stamp positioning tool, I think. Am I? Because I guess the reason why I wanted to, normally I wouldn't, because I've been stamping for a while and I'm kind of used to it now, and I don't mind if it's a little bit crooked or a little bit off. It just doesn't bother me. So I just go for it and just stamp directly. But for some of you who are just starting out with stamping and may not feel as courageous, may feel like you don't want to mess something up, or maybe you're stamping in a planner that's been pre-printed and you can't reprint, for example, I would recommend using a stamp positioning tool. I really like the Misty. But another one that I really liked was Tim Holtz. Tim Holtz had a great stamp positioning tool too, but I know it was taken off the market for like copyright infringement from Misty, which they had every right to do. But you may be able to still find it like on eBay or Mercari or something like that. So I wanted to mention that one as well. But I have 3 different sizes of the Misty. I have the mini, I have the regular size, and then I have a huge 12 by 12 size. If I wanted to use a Misty for my planner, because my planner sheets are half letter size, I would have to use the large Misty, the 12 by 12, because this will not fit in the regular size Misty, and it definitely won't fit in the mini. However, for the Tim Holtz one, which only comes in one size. Sorry, I'm going to step away for a second while I grab it. Just a sec. So this is the Tim Holtz one, and it's much smaller than 12 by 12. My 12 by 12 one is like really big. And then this is the regular size Misty. And then there's a mini. So this is smaller than the Tim Holtz one. And I believe, what does it go to? I can't really tell. Let's see. Oh, it like exactly fits in here. My insert. Because it's actually 8.5 by 11. Ooh, it fits in there. That's interesting. Okay, so it does fit in the original Misty, but if you're using classic size, it will not fit. You'll have to use a large Misty or okay, I gotta think about this. So if I want to stamp towards that, okay, I'll have to think about this, but because I don't want to change the position of my stamp once I have it on the platform, and I'll explain to you how I use this. So your Misty's going to come with a magnet. This is just to hold your paper into place while you stamp, okay? But for now, I'm gonna put this aside. For my October stamp, originally I was using this Catherine Puller stamp, but now that I have an opportunity to kind of redo this part, I'm not going to go with this. It was just a little too bold, a little too big, a little too heavy for me. So I'm not going to go with that. Instead, I pulled some other options and I put them right here. Okay, so I have this Catherine Puller option. That October is really cute, and it's just not as heavy as the other one that I had used. So I might use that. But I also have these really fun circles. They're just really, really cool, and they would just lend to all the decoration I'm doing for October. So part of me wants to use this. Okay, and then I have this that I could use, the October, but I was also thinking I could use the days of the week because it's kind of cool. So let's think about this for a second. So if we were to use the circle, it's kind of easy. I think I would just go right in. But anyway, okay, so if we were to use the circle, okay, so this is from Printed Huron. It's called Date Stamp Months, and it's fantastic. I'm not fond of the numbers, so I definitely would never use the numbers just because I have so many other fantastic number stamps. Yeah, I would never use those. But I'm in love with these, right? So if I take this October, okay, so let's see. Let's see. This October, and actually, I like to kind of use this clear because I can kind of see where I would stamp it. I'm looking at this October. So I would probably stamp it in the corner. So it's not really short enough to fit right there, but I could stamp right here. So I'm going to need the month, the day, and the date, right? So I could even put October like on the insides, like this. Kind of don't like that. I can do October in the center of this column. Kind of don't like that. I think if I would want it, I would want it right above the 1.5 inch vertical box. So I think I would want it there. Okay, so let's go ahead and decide that. If I would want the month, I would want it here, I would want the day here, and I'd want the date here. Or maybe we could do the month, we could do the day, and the date. Or we can do the month, the day, and the date. That seems to make more sense. So let's just say we did this, right? I don't know what day and date I would use. So this might be a little too strong. But it could also look really cute. So the month I'm going to do in the matching ink as the margins, okay? And then, but for the day and the date, I'm going to go ahead and change it up. So just imagine if this was pink, you know, it's okay if it's a little bold because it's going to be a different color. It's just going to complement things. So here I would use Monday, right? So let's just imagine that right here, or even centered like this, Monday, right? So say we have October, and then we have Monday right here. We just need to plan this out. And then do we want the date right here, or do we want the date right here? Ooh. Interesting, right? Okay, so sorry, I have to straighten out this plastic because it was kind of driving me nuts off to the side. Okay, so for the day of the week, I hadn't picked a stamp set. But let me just take a peek, just a second. Be right back. Alpha's numbers. Do I not have days of the week? Hold on just a second. Because I don't want alphas, because I don't want to spell out the day of the week. Hold on just a second. Okay. No. Okay. This is a good, but I also don't want 5,000 different fonts either. So there's one. Let's see. Okay. Have some options. I'll bring them right to you. Give me a second. Okay. Just a minute, please. Okay. Just thought of something. I'm curious about something, just because I just saw this stamp set. So I'll show you what I've pulled already, just kind of what's going through my mind. I'll go to this one last, but I was thinking, okay, so for the date, oops, look, I just picked up the stamps. Okay, we had this here, I think in the center. We had this, October, we had it like this, right? Okay, and then I have this. Look at how cute the pumpkin is. And actually, I have a whole bunch of other stamps that I could use. I have to use these icons, but I liked these because I was kind of thinking, okay, I could use one of these, like right in here, and then the date could go in this little section. So maybe, you know, no, none of this, and then I would say like Monday, and then the date would go in this cutout. Or maybe I could even do it like this, or like this, centered. So that was a thought that went through my head. Maybe, maybe not. This one was another kind of splash or brush mark or ink splatter or whatever, but I would use this at the bottom right here, like this, so it'll be on the bottom of every page. I think it'll look really cool with the number. October 2nd, 3rd, you know, I would overlap it, and I think it'd be really cool two-tone. And actually, it would tie into this circular thing. So that might not be a bad idea, right? Okay, so we would have the month, the day, and then the date. Kind of like that. Because then we can bring in another font, because then we won't be using this one after all. Don't let me lose that, you guys. Okay, so then Monday would go right here, right? But at all the way at the top, like this. Sorry, the glare. There we go. It would say Monday, and let me see. So Wednesday would kind of overlap a little bit, so would Thursday. But I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. So this is a really good option. This is Catherine Puller, the Daily Plan. Okay. So I like that so far. Boom, boom, boom. And see how these two fonts, they don't really clash. They're kind of, you know, a little scripty, a little sloppy, which I like. So that would work. Let's put this Monday away, because I think we are disqualifying it right now, because just bringing in another font just complicates things. So, okay, so now we would just need numbers for the dates. So say we use this, we use this. This is going to go here. Don't want to lose it. Okay. And then we're going to use this, down here would look really, really cool. So this is going to go here. This is close to my heart, brush strokes. Really, really cool. Okay, we're going to put these away. And then, oh, the other thing that I was thinking is this one that says date. That'd be kind of cool to stamp right in the middle of this bar here, kind of like this, right? And it says date. And then I was thinking I can use just this really cheesy date stamp to stamp the date in there. And that'll look kind of cool and Halloweenish, kind of vintage rustic. I thought it would look really cool. But that eliminates the day of the week. I wouldn't have that. You know, right? Because this doesn't say, you know, Monday the 22nd or whatever. Okay, so that wouldn't work. But I think it was a pretty good idea. And I can still use this stamp set. I think I'm going to keep it out because I think it'll be really cool to go with this whole theme. Okay, so this is Elle's Studio, the details label. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one out in my stash. And we are going to put this one away. And we are going to keep this one. And we need to find a number stamp that will look good with everything. So hold on just a second. Let's see. Okay. So let me find one here. Just a second. This is also a really cool days of the week because you can put your mood or how the day is going. That's kind of really cool. Another one from Elle's Studio, Notes from Today. And I have not, have I used, no, I have not used that. That yellowing is just from age. I really got to use this one day. Oh, maybe this is a good idea for Thanksgiving, for November, because of, you know, wanting to jot down being thankful and stuff like that. That might really work. Ooh, you guys remember my new stamp set? I have a new stamp set from the Stamp Market, and remember it was a number set, and I'm wondering if it's going to work with this. So let's look at that. I'm glad I didn't forget. I'm going to have tons of number stuff, but this is the one I was kind of hoping to use for October just because it was so cool looking. However, because I want to use this kind of brush stroke down here, this you can use as a layering stamp, but you don't have to. But what I like about this is it has an outline and a filler, or an outline and a filler. And so you can use 2 inks. If I'm using this splatter as a background, I'm not gonna bring in 3 inks. I'm just not gonna do that. So if I use these numbers, I would just use these filler ones, and I think that'll look really cute. I think we should just go with that. I mean, I can go and look deeper into my stamps, but why? So let's do it. Okay, let's see if I'm still going to have an opportunity to show you about the stamp positioning tool, because I might not. Because it's going to shift too much. Okay. Okay, because the idea was, where'd October go? Uh-oh. Where's October, you guys? Great. Okay. October. Where are you? Oh, there it is. Good. Okay. So October, I was talking about putting in this corner. So, okay. I'll go ahead and I'll use the stamp positioner. So the stamp positioner, I'm going to use it just to do the stamp, just to do the pages on the right, and then I'm going to have to reposition for the pages on the left. Not a problem. Okay, so we're going to get these out of the way. And we're going to do this. So there are a couple little techniques that you can learn on today's video. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let's put this right here. I'm running out of room. Okay, so I want to start with the right, and this is a left. So where can I put this where it's kind of out of the way? I think right I put it on my keyboard. I hope it doesn't mess up my recording. Okay, so I'm going to grab this right page, and I'm going to go ahead and push it into my bottom right-hand corner like this. I'm going to position this where I want it, which is right about, I'm going to bring it closer to me just so I can kind of see. I mean, I don't mind it running into there, or do I? Where are my glasses? Oh, here they are. Found them. Let's see. See, I wish I had a little bit more room, like up here, but I don't. So we're just gonna go like that. We're gonna go for it. Okay, so I set it down on my page where I would like to stamp consistently, and I'm going to pick up the stamp with the door of the Misty, and you see it picks that up and my lovely paper. But I'm going to go ahead, and to keep my paper in place, I'm going to use my magnet just like that. And now my stamp is over on this side. I'm going to make sure it's conditioned. I'm just going to kind of rub over it just a little bit. Okay. And again, I wanted the month to be in the same color as the side margin. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to ink this up just like this. And I'm going to stamp. So this is what I'm thinking if you're a beginner stamper and you're afraid to stamp in your planner. You can always do it like this because you know you're going to get consistent pressure, even pressure, and then say you didn't ink your stamp very well on one side, you can always go back, ink up your stamp on this side, and then restamp in the exact same place. So you have more opportunities to correct any mistakes. Okay, so wow, that looks fantastic. Okay, so that is another, that's a right side. So I'm just going to, over here on the side, I'm just going to flip that over. And then I'm going to take this one, another right side, put this down, ink this up. And this just really takes like no thinking. You know what I mean? It's just going to end up in the same spot each time. See that? Then you can get used to it and just get kind of really fast. These are all Octobers, so I don't have to worry. And I checked the end of the month too. This is like truly October month. There are no other months at the beginning or the end. Okay. See how easy that is? I mean, you can just be watching your favorite show and just doing this because it's like no big deal. Because it's just effortless and you don't have to be like, oh, I'm afraid to stamp. So stamp positioner tools, awesome for beginner stampers. And it's also awesome for mass producing. Like because we're putting October in the same place everywhere, it does make sense to use a stamp positioning tool. Okay, so now we're changing ink colors. Not a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there. I am going to grab my chamois, my damp chamois, and I'm going to clean off the ink from my stamp. You can see it's nice and clean. And then I'm going to set this back down where it doesn't get anything dirty. Okay, and then I'm going to close this ink. And I'm going to use Ballerina. Okay. Make sure that's dry. Ink that up. Perfect. See that? And we're going to do all the right-hand sides of this particular week in Ballerina. We are going to have to go back and do the left-hand side, but I'd rather keep this stamp in the right position for all the right of this entire month and then change it to the left. And you can imagine how this can go really fast once you're used to it. If I mass produce cards, like Christmas cards, Halloween cards, I am using the heck out of a stamp positioning tool. Because once I have my design established, then I just zoom right through making multiples of everything. And a stamp positioning tool just makes it super easy. So here's another reason to use half letter inserts, is they fit in the regular Misty. Okay, so we're changing ink colors again, just that fast. Okay, so we're going to switch from Ballerina to Honey Butter. I'm going to clean this off. And if at any point I feel like the image is not crisp enough, I can restamp in the exact same spot. Sometimes I don't even use the magnet to tell you the truth, but I think in the beginning, for you guys, it's a good idea to use it until you get used to it. But also, if your page does shift a little bit, just move it back into this corner. That's why I use a corner. You know, I just go like this before I restamp again. So you don't have to use the magnet. It's probably a good idea, but I don't always, just because I'm busy. I have things to make. I'm really loving that I'm having a second opportunity to change up the months, the way I'm stamping the months, or the stamp that I'm using for this. I'm excited about that. So thanks for coming along for the little boo-boo. Okay, then we're switching to Flamingo, and I actually could put, these are the ones for the right side of Flamingo. I could really put all these in here. I'm being ambitious, aren't I? Okay, close this up, get Flamingo out, clean the ink off the stamp. Okay. And then ink up with Flamingo. See that? Just a tad. It's just a little bit. You don't have to go back and restamp, but I want to show you. And I'm just focusing on this area right there. Okay, I think maybe it's the stamp because it's not wanting to stamp right there. All right, I think that's good enough. One more. Let's see if it's really the stamp or if it's me. Ah, it was me, because that snapped just fine. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and go in reverse order. I'll continue using Flamingo. And now we're going to stamp on the left, right? The left, right? Okay. Let me clean this off because I do need to reposition it. Okay, and we're just going to place it right about, so you see it's changing a little bit. Looks like this printed a little bit higher this time, but that's okay. This side, it seems as though I want, because here, oh, I see it did dip down a little bit here. Okay. Dip down a little bit more. Right there. How does that look? I think that is just fine. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. And now we're going to do the left side. Looks great. So I was kind of thinking, I don't know if I want to do the left side of this decoration page. So these are the dailies, right? So part of me, I mean, I like the idea of it above this, above this vertical box. But we don't have a vertical box on this side, so I'm not sure if I want to put it right here. Normally I would, but I don't think I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that. Okay, we're going to go right back to honey butter. Stack these suckers again, why not? All right, I cleaned that off, right? I also wanted to say, a few of you had reached out and commented on the videos that I've been posting lately that you missed my videos. And I have to say that you taking the time to say that completely warms my heart, because when it comes to social media and stuff, it's like, first of all, I'm not very good at it. I'll just be perfectly honest. I'm not thinking all the time of social media and like what I'm going to post or what, you know, I just, when I create, I want to be able to share. So that's my motivation for posting on YouTube, is just because I want to share. I want to share. It's not necessarily like for, it's definitely not for money. Because I'll spend the money no matter what. I'll buy all the stamps and buy all the supplies. So it's not, I'm not incentivized like with money. Again, my motivation is because I love to share ideas. So, you know, when you say that my videos were missed or whatever, I realize that it's not necessarily because I'm popular or because, you know, or anything like that. It's because you miss, it seems to me like it means that you miss my creativity. And that means a lot to me because, you know, obviously people don't really have to record their creativity, but I really like to, because I really, really like to share. And I get so excited about creating that I want anybody else who likes creating, I want them to get excited. You know what I mean? I want them to get excited too. So that's what that means to me. And so I just appreciate it so much, because it's one thing to think, oh, you know, I've missed her videos. And then it's a whole other thing to actually comment and write your feelings down and write that you've missed the videos. So it's like, I don't take it for granted. And so thank you so much. That's just, you know, you're so generous with your words and your time. And I appreciate it very, 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 very much. So I just wanted to let you know that. And, you know, I had been pretty busy. And so I wasn't able to create, and I wasn't able to, in return, record videos, because I really wasn't creating during the time that I was really busy getting my son set up with his new business that he opened. So, but now that he's pretty set, I still go and help him with the payroll every week and all that stuff. But I have a little more time now to create. And so I'm just making up for lost time. I have lots of supplies to share with you guys, and obviously lots of ideas, because I'm always inspired and I'm always kind of wanting to do something. So I'm very grateful for all 4 of you. I'm just kidding. That's funny. But anyway, I'm very grateful. So thank you, thank you, thank you for the love. You really know how to make me feel special and appreciated. So thank you for that. All right. So we're done with this stamp, and boy, I have stuff everywhere. It's like everywhere. What do I do with the stamps I'm going to use? Oh, here they are. Okay. Okay, so here this is. I'm going to put this away. I really love this stamp. I do not like the numbers, but I love the monthly stamps. Okay, so we're going to put these away. Where's my envelope? I don't know. Oh, well. Let's just put these to the side. I've used them. Okay, so let's take a look at this and see how this came out. If you see any glaring mistakes, just let me know. Because no one let me know that there wasn't 5 weeks in October and that the October month didn't have any September days. So anyway, maybe some of you were thinking, but you're so kind that you didn't want to say it, but feel free. Okay, October. Ooh, look at how pretty. Isn't that pretty? I love it already. I love it. I love it. So I kind of, yeah, I like that. We're going into a new week. So it skips this right here. Ooh, look at how pretty that pink, that pale pink looks so good. Love it. Ooh, love it. I love it. I love it. I'm glad I had this opportunity. So in case you're wondering, I ended up taking out the lilac ink, the kind of purplish one. Okay, so that's that. All right. Okay, so the months are in throughout the entire month, which is really cool. So we're going to put this Misty off to the side. I'm going to grab this. This is the last thing I have to do just to kind of get caught up. And I'm ahead of caught up because I did the months throughout the entire month. So now we're going to remove this and we're going to place it here. And then we're really going to be kind of back in business. So I'm going to put this aside, hopefully somewhere I remember. We're going to grab this. We're going to grab the undo. And you have to it's childproof, so you have to push it down and twist at the same time. And so I'm just going to go like this, and you're going to see it's going to magically just start coming up, which is freaking amazing. I don't want to rip it or tear it, so I want to be a little careful. This stuff is truly amazing. Really. It's saved my life so many times. So a lot of times when I have something like this, I'll actually go to the other side and just kind of saturate the other side, since that's really where the glue is. It doesn't have to go through the cardstock. And then, see, it just will come up. Okay, I think that's good. Perfect. All right, now this is truly trash. This can go right here, just like that. Little ghosty, not yet, not you yet. Okay, and this will all just evaporate and it'll be like it never happened. Seriously, okay, so we had that stuff on here, right? Look, see, the adhesive is still great, like brand new. So you literally get to pick something up and put it back down, and you don't have to reapply adhesive. It's freaking amazing. I have no idea if it's cancerous or anything like that, to be honest. You know, it kind of freaks me out a little bit because it's a chemical. So use at your own risk. I try not to use it too much just because I'm scared, but oh yes, this looks great. I'm just gonna set that there, and that's all nice and stuck on there now. This looks a little empty now that I kind of see it like this, but ooh, so pretty. See, how could I just keep this excitement to myself? I have to share it with you guys. I have to. I can't just create this and keep it to myself and not spread the excitement. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, so I'm going to punch these now. I mentioned in my previous video, I didn't punch them because I felt like it was just more comfortable for me to stamp without punches here in the way. So, because otherwise I would stamp first and then I would decorate. I would punch first and then decorate after. But this time I decorated those margins because I knew I was going to do it. So, what I use is the Arc Punch. It's this big monstrosity that looks like this. It's huge, arc, nice and dusty. And this is what I punch my inserts with. So I'm just going to do that really quick, if you don't mind. Nice and easy. I love it. I'm doing 2 at a time. This is a heavier weight paper because I don't like for my inks to bleed or ghost, and I like to be able to just stamp to my heart's content. So, which you can't do this, like you wouldn't be able to do this in a Happy Planner, stamping like this, because this is dye ink and it would definitely saturate the other side of your paper. And I'll even show you what I mean, because I have my handy Happy Planner where I checked my dates. Okay. I have it just right here on my desk, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. I mean, it would be so cool if a planner company made planner paper that, or printed on planner paper that you could very freely stamp on. So there is one company that did do it, but the number one, the paper was just a little too thick for my taste. And you could even use Copic markers in it. It was from the Sassy Club, which was great. This came out great. Let's see. But I noticed when I used it, and this is maybe not a big deal to other people, but first of all, it's a vertical planner, and I'm not a vertical box planner type girl. So that was one thing. And then the other thing was, if I made a mistake, I couldn't reprint it. And then the other thing was the paper was like not quite white. It was just a little different. But mostly I think the thing was that it was vertical boxes, you know, the like kind of like the Happy Planner going down all the way to boxes. So anyway, okay, so this came out beautiful. I really like it. I was going to stamp in this Happy Planner just so you can kind of see what I meant about ghosting or bleeding. I mean, I know you believe me, but let's see. So we're in, well, I had started using this planner to take it to work for my son's work. And then it was too little. It just didn't have enough room for everything I needed to write down. And so I abandoned it. I'm going to go ahead and try this. So we'll use Nectarine here. We'll just use a regular stamp block. And we will use a day of the week. Catherine Puller, the Daily Plan. Can you imagine if this whole video was like not recording? I should check it, huh? Okay, it's recording. All right, so I'm just going to put this on this stamp block. I know I've used this before, but I will condition it anyway. And let's just say that this didn't have the days of the week, and we were going to stamp Monday right here. Pretty! Oh, I wish I could stamp in a Happy Planner all the time. All right, let me clean this. Oh. Clean that. Put that aside. Okay, so here we have Monday. It looks fantastic, but that, I can't live with it. That's not that bad, to be honest. It's actually, I'm surprised it's not worse. Now, it's probably getting worse as the ink is sinking into the paper, because dye ink will go right into your paper. And the darker the ink, the more it'll stain. Like maybe these lighter inks you can get away with, but I really like creative freedom. So I don't want to have to be like, oh, but I got to pick the light inks. I can't use the dark. That would just like, it just messes with me. Like, no, I want to use the colors I want to use. And so that's what caused me to, make my own planner. Plus, I also wanted to kind of design it the way I wanted to design it. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so that's that. That's what's going to happen. And especially if you use black, it's going to get really bad. I will show you. So you don't mess up your planners. This is my favorite VersaFine Black. It's my go-to for like really nice detailed stamping because it does matter. We'll put this one right here for fun. Look at that perfection. Look at that perfection. Perfection. I mean, you get a good quality stamp, good quality paper, good quality ink, and you can have incredible stamping. So all of these things matter, you guys. Like, I know I say it often, but yeah, it matters. Look at that. It looks so good and crisp. I mean, look at how good that looks. All of them. But then you have this problem. Right? And I suppose, you know, when you go into the next week and you start writing your tasks, I mean, it could be not as visible, but I just don't want any problems. Like if this is just a word. So if I were to do like the brush strokes and, you know, things like that, like I did along the border, that's really saturated inks, especially if you're going to take your ink pad to your paper. Like, forget about it. But anyway, sometimes I think, well, maybe this is okay, because then if I said, okay, I have to go to Target, and then I need to go to Vons, and then I need to go to Michael's, right? And then Joann's. Where else would I need to go? I need to go to the Hobby Lobby. I'm just saying. I need to go to the bank. So on and so forth, right? So then you can kind of see, okay, it's not that big of a deal. It kind of gets camouflaged. But I still don't like it. But I guess if you're, you know, if this doesn't bother you, then you can stamp in your planner. All right, that's that. I'm going to put this back in here. So one day when I'm going through here, I won't be like, what happened to that page? I'll go ahead and go back in there. And I think we are good for this video. So let's grab the planner, because I had not yet put all these daily planner pages. I hadn't put them in here to kind of see how they would look. But see, here's the continuation of October. And I just realized I used 2 different printers. So this is darker than this one, but that's okay, because I don't really even use the monthly, to be honest. I just have it there in case I need it. Okay, so this side is obviously really high because all the rest of my year is in here. But I wanted to kind of see how the spreads look. Okay, so everything is good now, everybody. 5 weeks in September, 4 weeks in October. Everything is good now. We're back to a correct schedule, the right days in the right monthly tab. Everything is good. Now, this would look even better if I had smaller rings and the binding was closer, but it's not, and that's okay. So there you go. That's how it would look. Ooh, pretty. Oh, let's see how my deco page came out. Cute. I mean, and it's only, guys, it's just going to get cuter. Okay, I want to throw this one away. See how that's like big and clunky? Like, I didn't like it. Hopefully I don't have to use sticker remover. No, I don't. Perfect. Okay, now you are trash. Goodbye. I'm going to stick this here. I may move it. Oh, yeah, remember? The day of the week is going to go right here. I mean, the date. Right? Should we put this right here? Yeah. Ooh, that kind of looks cute, like a little clipboard. Doesn't that kind of look cute? Okay, let's put it right there. Do I want it there or do I want it here, you guys? Wish I could hear what you're saying right now. Okay, I'll put it right here. Yeah. This is from Planners Anonymous, and that just makes me want to move this one down to the bottom. But no, I think it's okay right there. It's okay. All right. So that is it for today. And by the way, because we use the stamp positioner tool, look, October is in the exact same place. It doesn't move. Isn't that awesome? Let's see this side. Oh, it's only going to be on the page. It's not going to be on the decorative page. But that looks really cool. Oh, I love all these colors. Beautiful for Halloween. I love it. I kind of want to keep going. So I know I'm going to use these days of the week. So I probably should do this black throughout the entire month. Just go ahead and do it black. But I'm wondering, do I want a piece of washi through here first and then it says Monday? Or do I want it to say October Monday and then the date? Do I want it to say October Monday and then the date? See what I go through? But I love it. Washi can definitely go here on every decorative page. Anyway, you guys, I'm so excited. So guess what? We're going to continue tomorrow, okay? We have to, because this is so exciting. I can't wait to set this up. And now I realize I have more time because there's another week in September that I didn't know about. Okay. All right. I'm going to go because otherwise I'm going to keep going and I'm going to want to create. And I'm not. I'm going to go to sleep. It's 5 minutes before midnight on Friday night in beautiful Southern California. And I thank you for joining me. We'll see you very, 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 very soon. Bye-bye.